So, hi everyone, I'm Samantha Rugge-Price. It's quite interesting hearing all this because I was actually where you were this time last year. I left LCC, this college last year. I did a Masters in Interactive Digital Media with Alan. And it's been really interesting actually doing this presentation because it's kind of made me realise how far I've actually come with that. I've literally thought I'd kind of hadn't learnt anything or hadn't gone anywhere since I've left college, and actually it turns out that looking back, I think I've sort of acquired more business skills, I suppose. And just a little quick sort of recap on where I am now. I'm currently working for Sky. Back in March 2006 at LCC, we put a brief, Sky put a brief together for a group of us students on the master's course. It was a pretty open brief, really. It was literally targeting towards media students, colleges and graduates, to try and bring them into the Sky environment of community and online kind of networking place. And I suppose the main point for them was all about recruitment. It was about trying to bring in access new talent into Sky, and also providing an environment where they can kind of explore and interact and engage. So so that's where I am now, and I'd just like to talk to you a bit about sort of the year in between, I suppose, like how I got from leaving college to here. So my background, I come from quite a technical background actually. I went to Bristol University back in 2001 and studied computer science and maths, so I went down the technical route. And I actually have an identical twin sister who actually studied the same thing, which is quite funny. We ended up getting exactly the same percent in our degree. And then we ended up, I left university and we did a bit of freelance work together. Which actually we worked out wasn't such a good idea, working with my twin sister whilst living in the same studio. And then...
what would you call yourself, Sam? Was it binary sisters? Or
well, luckily we don't have the kind of the telepathic thing, which is quite good. So we are actually identical, genetic. And we actually sort of pretty much do the same thing, which is really funny as well. We have the same kind of interests and everything, but we actually don't work together now. So we ended up, so I went to university with her, ended up doing a bit of freelance work together, and then we kind of, let's have a sip of water quickly. And then I ended up going to work as a junior programmer for writing computer games in a little studio up in Camden, which is really interesting, working with 30 guys, producing these really cool kind of motocross games. Which actually really wasn't my thing either, because I really hated computer games. So I ended up leaving that, and then going and doing the work abroad thing. I ended up going and living in India for a bit and setting up internet cafes and websites and teaching Indians how to network computers and do all that kind of thing. So I had a pretty varied background, I think, and up until that point I then thought, right, it's now time to really, I've had a wide range of experience and what I want to do with my life. So this is when I found out about the interactive media course. And then I went on the course, which was an amazing experience. And I learned lots throughout that year. So finishing masters, this September last year. Obviously, I suppose the first thing, obviously, you do well as I was finishing my masters, I was thinking about the next step ahead, putting your CV together and applying to agencies. Definitely, you can't stress that enough. And also, what I thought was best was actually going into agencies, targeting what kind of work you want to work for, and then actually going and meeting them and making sure you become really good friends with them, kind of thing, and so they give you kind of quite good work. And putting together a portfolio. I think pretty much everyone, I suppose, throughout their university has a few projects they've always got going, and I found that really, really helpful and important because you could then put together a portfolio with all of this work. And with successful projects and everything, and then hand it out, put it on CV, and get it out to as many people as possible. And advice and support as well from tutors was really, really key, I suppose. But this is when, as soon as I sort of left Sky, as soon as I left university, I had the opportunity came up for me to go into Sky to actually start developing this proposal we'd pitched to them, which was almost, even though I'd had other ideas then of starting up my own agency, it was almost too good an opportunity to turn down, because I thought, well, hang on, even though I really want to start up my own agency, it probably would be really valuable to go in and learn to a big company like Sky and learn what they're all about, what they do, and see what I can pick up. So that's when I started Sky last November. So yeah, the first day at Sky, there was 3 of us from the university who were chosen to go and work at Sky on this project, me, Nat and Peter. I remember the first day at Sky, it was so daunting. They had these little Sky buses which run everywhere. They pick you up from the tubes and cart you around everywhere. It's like a little city, it's unbelievable. And we managed to get desks, our own little sort of office desks in the interactive team, which is amazing because we were amongst people who were developing for Sky News, Sky Active, and just people all the time who could sort of bounce ideas off and brainstorming every step of the way. And what was probably one of the really helpful things was they gave us our own little room, which we call it the war room. So everything we did, we just completely plastered this wall with all our ideas, just printed everything out on paper, all these drawings, insight maps, everything. So any meeting we had, or to try and spread the word throughout Sky, we used to bring everyone to our room and then take them through the sort of the journey, or our dream, so to speak. So we used to have these, where I was working with the team where we sit, they have these kind of Friday breakfast meetings, which is brilliant, where you just get up and you just speak about sort of things you like, or don't know, bounce ideas off people, which really helped. And so the brief, so what are we doing? Basically, the brief they gave us was, as I said before, it was all about recruitment for them. It was all about accessing new talents. They wanted to try and target media students, so basically you guys, media students, college students, graduates, leavers, and try and break down the big barrier of Sky. So I think what they found is that some people, after speaking to sort of students, people think of Sky as a big organisation. And actually that people are often quite scared of probably applying to it for a job at Sky because it's almost too far up there, it's too out of their league. So they wanted to create an environment whereby it would create an environment and a community for students to sort of interact, engage and explore around their own content and around Sky content, and also get advice and guidance from professionals and kind of break down the barriers, allow them in through the back door to see what Sky's like. And it was amazing. We were on about the first, we sort of got the brief, and they said to us, right, you've got complete creative freedom. And we were like, oh my God, that is amazing. So that's pretty much unheard of. But we were sort of, big in the sort of the hype of having creative freedom. We came up with these amazing ideas, saw these really cool virtual worlds and everything. And then we suddenly thought, hang on, what about Sky? Because obviously, whatever we produce has got to be in the Sky values. And Sky is very much, big brand, and their values are everything. All around Sky, it's all about their values: irrepressible, fun, tuned in, and whatever we created had to lie within this brand and really support it. So back to the drawing board we went, scrubbed down the wall, started again, and back to the drawing boards. And so I'll show you. And so we had a month, which is amazing. So we had a month to work on the first pitch, and we were told in a month's time we were going to pitch to James Murdoch, which at the time we were like, oh my God, that's so scary. But we actually pitched to about 15 people in this big boardroom in Sky. And actually James Murdoch wasn't there, but we actually handed him the DVD afterwards, almost.